There's been a week of drama, U-turns and denials in the Senzo Meyiwa murder case. This as a trial within a trial continues to determine the admissibility of confessions made by two of the accused. A detective who investigated the murder the matter was back in the hot seat with the defense grilling Sergeant Vusimuzi Mogane on why accused number 2 was booked out for 17 hours a day before making his confession. eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu has more.
It took 4 months for police to charge Bongani Ntanzi for Senzo Meyiwa's murder. Ntanzi was arrested on the 16th of June in 2020 for an alleged murder in Nongoma in KwaZulu-Natal. But he allegedly confessed to Meyiwa's murder 3 days later. In a questionable conduct, the court heard that Ntanzi had been booked out by police for over 17 hours a day before making his statement.
You took him out 8:05 in the morning, then you brought him back on the 19th of June 2020 at 25 to 3 early hours. If I calculate these hours we spent with accused number 2, it gives me plus or minus 17 hours. During these ungodly hours, what were you doing with accused number 2?
Like I have explained that he had agreed that he was going to take us to his workplace at the mine.
That trip became a bone of contention, with the defense insisting that's the time Ntanzi was assaulted and tortured into making a confession.
These people that are escorting you are from Egoruleni Metropolitan Police. Is that so?
Isn't it? That is correct.
The participants that we were talking about yesterday that were involved in the assault and torturing and shooting of accused number 2 are the officers that assaulted accused number 2 immediately after you concluded that investigation about his whereabouts.
But Mogane's explanation of why Ntanzi was not taken to his cells left much to be desired for the defense.
He did not have a problem going with us, because when we asked him if he was okay with going with us, he agreed, because also there was the problem that if he was taken back to the cell, he was going to be locked up alone and was going to get bored.
You booked him for 17 hours. You conducted that investigation more or less 3 to 4 hours, if I can give you that. Now for a period of almost 10 to 12 hours, you were still with the accused. What investigations was that?
There were other cases that we were following up, and I have already mentioned that there were such cases that were investigating. But I'm unable to tell the court about them because we are still continuing with the investigation.
The court also wanted answers.
You must disclose that information, all of it, okay? But you must disclose it in the form of a note, all right? And that note will be made available to all the counsels here, with Mr. Baloyi, and it will be kept by this court.
However, those documents stirred trouble for the defense the following day, with Mogane raising a concern.
As we were sitting and during the break, my lord, I saw the document. When I handed it over to Mr. Baloyi, it was written confidential. However, I saw the document now roaming around in court, my lord.
Who else had that document?
I saw Muzi in possession of it, and all the accused were reading it, my lord.
Who gave them that? Do you know?
I do not know who gave it to them, my lord. And now I am being worried, my lord, for our witnesses, especially in those cases. In all these cases, my lord, there are firearms that are involved. People were shot, people were kidnapped, other people were threatened. So I was worried if my witnesses would still be alive tomorrow.
Actually, I'm shocked, that senior counsels like this can actually behave in this matter. I'm just shocked. I explicitly said it's only for the court officials. Now you're telling me the accused are having... This gentleman is right when he says he doesn't know whether tomorrow some of the witnesses will be dead or not. The nature of things, these documents are not going to form part of these proceedings because that evidence has now been contaminated. So this court makes a ruling that this information must be expunged from the record of these proceedings.
The judge later made a U-turn, allowing its use. In a blow to the defense, the state also led evidence on a dentist report submitted by the defense, which shows that Ntanzi had no oral injuries on the 22nd of June, days after making his confession.
Our alibi to that effect is to say accused number 2 was consulted with the dentist. So the contents and everything contained in the docket was never been an issue to be clarified from the witness.
Yeah, so your submission is a document can be headed up holistically to this court, but this court must just peruse
May
a
I?
minuscule part of it, the 26th of June. The other information which was elicited by this gentleman, who is the state prosecutor, I must ignore that.
No, my lord, I said, let's look at the nature of the evidence.
Another hurdle is the state's application to have new evidence introduced in court, which was meant to be heard on Friday. This after the state made an application to lead evidence on a tracking report of Mogane's vehicle on the day in question. Proceedings, however, hit another snag as Ngome Zulu called in sick. That application will now be heard on Monday. Manqoba Mchunu, Pretoria.